For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
The Royal Rumble match is probably one of the most prolific matches in all of professional wrestling history, dating back to 1988 when Hacksaw Jim Duggan won the first Royal Rumble. Now in 2022, still to this day, the Royal Rumble's going very, very strong. As a matter of fact, we are just 2 days away from Royal Rumble 2022. Now, it wasn't until 1993 where the winner of the Royal Rumble match would get a main event opportunity at WrestleMania, even though multiple times we've seen that's not the case. Take a look at Edge when he had to open WrestleMania against Alberto Del Rio. However, today we are here to discuss the 30 best, in my opinion, Royal Rumble moments of all time. Number 30. Roman Reigns 2017 Royal Rumble. Well, I put this one at number 30 for a reason. This probably could be my number one just because the reaction was funny as hell. So, the 2017 Royal Rumble, a lot of people, it's kind of an underrated Rumble if you think about it. There are a lot of people were upset that there's only like one or two real big surprises. Everybody else got introduced beforehand. Goldberg, The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, all these names got announced beforehand, which probably would have made huge pops if they were surprises. Well, there was one person who wasn't announced, and he came out at number 30 in the 2017 Royal Rumble, and that was Roman Reigns. And oh my god, social media had the biggest meltdown I've ever seen. Not only the reactions from the people in the building, but reactions all over social media, reaction videos being posted to YouTube, to Twitter, to Instagram, to Facebook, hell, probably even MySpace for the 15 people that still have a MySpace account.
Are you serious?
Number 29. Kane goes crazy in the 2001 Royal Rumble. Well, the 2001 Royal Rumble has some very historical significance for a few reasons. One of those reasons being this moment here, when Kane entered the Royal Rumble match and proceeded to absolutely just annihilate everybody in the ring except for Drew Carey, who took off running. At that point, Kane eliminated 11 superstars. 11 people were thrown over the top rope by the Big Red Machine, a record that stood for over 10 years. That record was broken in 2014 by Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns would go on to have his record broken by Braun Strowman, and Braun would have his record tied with Brock Lesnar in 2020. But at that time, to see somebody come in and eliminate almost half the Rumble is absolutely unprecedented. And the fact that Kane really didn't win that year, it was Austin that won that year. The fact that Kane didn't win, that doesn't sit right with me. It still doesn't sit right with me. And it's been 21 damn years, and that does not sit right with me at all. Number 28. The Three Faces of Foley enter the 1998 Royal Rumble and still lose. 1998's Royal Rumble started off with Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. Well, after Cactus Jack was dumped out of the ring, some time went by, Mankind would come out. When Mrs. Foley's baby boy was dumped out of the ring yet again, some more time went by, and then Dude Love came out. And just like Cactus Jack and just like Mankind, found himself on the floor just a few moments later. Number 27. Beth Phoenix eliminates the Great Khali 2010. The 2010 Royal Rumble is probably one of my all-time favorite Rumbles of the last decade. But one moment that really stands out to me is Beth Phoenix eliminating the Great Khali. Now, Beth Phoenix entered the Royal Rumble. This was the second time a woman has ever entered the Royal Rumble, the first being Chyna back in 1999. Well, Beth held her own against quite a few people until getting eliminated by CM Punk. But one that stands out the most is when she eliminated the Great Khali, the 7-foot Punjabi playboy. She eliminated the Great Khali by lip-locking with Khali and then dumping him over the top rope to where his big-ass feet hit the floor. Probably one of the most, I don't want to say funniest moments, but it was pretty funny. But the fact that Beth Phoenix came in and she held her own and actually scored an elimination is something that was actually pretty cool to see at that time. And now we've seen multiple women have entered the Men's Rumble. And hell, there was even a man who entered the Women's Rumble back in 2019. Number 26. Jim Duggan wins the first ever Royal Rumble match in 1988. Now, the Royal Rumble match in 1988 is nothing like it was today. Yes, they had timed intervals. Yes, they came out, there was only 20 people instead of 30. But it wasn't on pay-per-view, and it wasn't a giant event. It was on an episode, I'm pretty sure it was just an episode of like Superstars or something. They aired it, and it was the Royal Rumble special, and in the end, Hacksaw Jim Duggan eliminated the one-man gang to win the Royal Rumble match. But again, those really don't hold, those first couple Rumble matches don't hold any real significance other than, you know, the first couple of wins, etching their name into history, because like I said before, in 1993, that was the first time someone had the opportunity to go to the main event of WrestleMania. So up until the 92 Rumble, when Flair won the championship in the Rumble, the Royal Rumbles really didn't have any, I can't say value, but they didn't have any perks for winning. Number 25. The Rock returns to Philadelphia and gets booed out of the building, 2015. The 2015 Royal Rumble is probably, it's a dark moment for a lot of people. Well, it depends on who you are. There's a lot of Roman Reigns fans, but the Royal Rumble 2015, after Daniel Bryan got eliminated, went off the rails just like the 2014 Royal Rumble because WWE did not learn from their mistakes. Well, Big Show and Kane eliminated half the fucking Rumble, and people were getting antsy, people were getting upset, people were getting very, very angry, demanding refunds, chanting bullshit, chanting anything they could to direct their anger towards the WWE. Well, how did WWE counter that? Send The Rock. Well, The Rock came out, and I was one of the people in the crowd. I screamed my head off when The Rock came out. I absolutely love The Rock. I have nothing against The Rock. But when people started realizing and putting the pieces together that The Rock's not out here to help anybody but Roman, then that's when it fell back off the rails. The Rock came out, he beat up the Big Show, he beat up Kane, he helped Roman throw them out. They were already eliminated, but he helped them throw them back out. And then Rusev came in, got speared, and got eliminated. And Roman Reigns won the Rumble. The Rock held Roman Reigns' hand up, and that was the first time since like 2003 I heard The Rock get booed that loud. And I don't know if they were booing just The Rock or they were booing the fact that The Rock helped Roman. But either way, The Rock turned involuntarily heel that night in Philadelphia. Number 24. Kofi Kingston saves himself from elimination, the 2013 Royal Rumble. Kofi Kingston is literally the human highlight reel for the Royal Rumble match. If he could do it to save himself from elimination, he's done it. And if he can't do it, well, then he gets eliminated. But either way, Kofi Kingston has had some very, very, very creative ways to stay off the floor after being thrown over the top rope. And one of my favorites has to be 2013. He got thrown out of the ring, landed on Tensai, and if you guys don't remember Tensai, I don't blame you. He landed on Tensai, got thrown onto the announcer's table. They pulled Tensai out. How is Kofi going to get back into the ring? Was he going to jump to the barricade, to the stairs? Was he going to jump from the table to the ring? No. He grabs JBL's chair, and instead of doing the smart thing and just kind of rolling himself back over, pogo sticked with the chair to get back to the ring. He took the chair and bounced on it, pogo sticking from the announcer's desk to the ring to save himself from elimination, only to be thrown out just a few seconds later. But either way, Kofi Kingston, the Royal Rumble highlight reel, and that's probably my favorite Kofi Kingston save next to the handstand. The handstand's pretty impressive, but I think the pogo stick on the chair is definitely my favorite one. Number 23. Santino Marella breaks the Warlord's record, 2009. Well, the Warlord held the record, I believe, in the 1990 Royal Rumble. I could be wrong on that. But he was eliminated by Hulk Hogan in about 2 seconds. Well, fast forward to 2009's Royal Rumble. The 2009 Royal Rumble was actually pretty stacked for the most part. Well, Santino comes out, full head of steam, charges to the ring. Kane clotheslines him up over to the floor. Santino is out 1 second. Santino Marella lasted 1 second in the Royal Rumble match in 2009 and set the record. Maybe it's not a record that anybody wants, but he set the record for shortest amount of time in a Royal Rumble match. Now, there's people who've come close. Titus O'Neil when he's not flying under the ring. Jerry the King Lawler has come close. Sheamus has come close. But I don't think anybody is ever going to beat that record held by Santino Marella. Number 22, going back here to Philadelphia for the 2015 Royal Rumble yet again. Well, the Royal Rumble started off with The Miz and R-Truth. And the first surprise came at number 3 in the form of Bubba Ray Dudley. Now, Bubba Dudley coming back at any point that year would have been huge. Take a look at when they came back after SummerSlam in 2015 when they attacked the New Day. Bubba Dudley's music hit at number 3. And me and about 15,000 of the people went absolutely nuts. That was up until the point where Daniel Bryan got thrown out and we knew Roman was winning. It was fine. Everything was going fine. DDP came out. The Boogeyman was there. But Bubba Dudley coming out, that was an absolutely huge moment. The return to Bubba Dudley, or to the WWE for Bubba Dudley after being gone for over 10 years, absolutely huge, and it really planted the seeds for the Dudley Boys' return and eventual final run in the WWE in 2016 and 2017. Number 21, the return of Mr. Perfect 2002. The 2002 Royal Rumble, an absolutely, again, just stacked Royal Rumble. A lot of moments came from this one. A lot of moments have come from this Royal Rumble. But one that stands out to me a lot is the return of Mr. Perfect. Now, this set up a run for Mr. Perfect that would only last a few short months until Mr. Perfect would leave the WWE again and unfortunately would pass away just a short time later, roughly about a year later. But to see him back in the WWE in the Royal Rumble match, to hear that music and to hear the people going absolutely nuts was something that will never be forgotten, and R.I.P. Mr. Perfect. Number 20, the Hurricane returns 2018. The Royal Rumble match in 2018 had some very, very memorable returns, And I don't think there's any more memorable than when the Hurricane came out. I mean, it can be argued that Rey Mysterio's return was bigger, but personal preference, the Hurricane was my guy when I was a kid. I absolutely loved the Hurricane. I loved all the goofy gimmicks when I was a kid, and the Hurricane was probably the goofiest of the goofiest, and I absolutely loved it, and I still do to this day. The Hurricane is still one of my favorites to this day. So, at entry number 24? 23? I don't remember. I think 23 was Adam Cole. But the Hurricane came out, and I made the joke earlier that day about the Hurricane coming out and participating in the Rumble. And I was only joking about it. I had no idea that he was going to show up. And sure enough, he did. He didn't last very long. But my God, the reaction he got, especially from my seat. I have the video somewhere. I might post it up later on YouTube. Yeah, a huge moment. And even though he didn't last long, it was still great to see the Hurricane back. Number 19, Double J Jeff Jarrett returns after 20 years, the 2019 Royal Rumble. Jeff Jarrett left the WWF in 2000. He went to WCW, became a world champion, helped found TNA, and then booked himself to be champion like 9 times. But after all that, when he had to put all of his cards down and finally come back and confront the man he held up for money, Vince McMahon, somewhere down the line, they made a deal to bring Jeff Jarrett to the Royal Rumble match. And I remember we were at a bar at Parks Casino in Philadelphia watching with a bunch of my buddies. And Elias was in the ring, number 1. And Jeff Jarrett's music hit for number 2. And I absolutely had no fucking clue who it was at first. I didn't know the music. I'm so used to that music. It came out with Deborah. You know, like goes meow, meow, meow. But yeah, that one. But when he came out, everybody in the bar was just like, "What the fuck?" Like, we were all stunned. And to see Jeff Jarrett, I mean, he held his own for a while in there. I think he lasted until like entry number 7, number 8. He was in there for a while before getting dumped out. I'm pretty sure he was in there for at least 10 minutes. Number 18, Lita, 2018. The 2018 Women's Royal Rumble, the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. Now, we knew half the women that we saw on the Raw 25 reunion were going to be in that match. Michelle McCool, Vicky Guerrero was there. Just a whole who's who of names were in that match. Tori Wilson, Trish Stratus. And one that wasn't on the Raw 25 reunion. She made her appearance in the Royal Rumble match for the women, and that was Lita. I believe she came in at entry number 5. It was very early in the match. I can't remember exactly when, but it was very early in the match. Lita came out, and the people I was with, one of them is like the biggest Lita fan I've ever met. Absolutely lost their shit crying when she came out. And it's understandable, too. When you see your favorites back after so long, it's a big thing. It's a big deal. And to see Lita back in the WWE ring was absolutely amazing. And we're going to see it again this Saturday. Lita is going to be in the Royal Rumble match. Number 17, sticking with the 2018 Rumble here. Heath Slater. A poor bastard. He entered at number 4. He came out and got absolutely annihilated by Baron Corbin with a clothesline. On every person that came down for the longest time, either kicked him, punched him, or did something to him to prevent him from getting into the ring. Well, finally, Sheamus comes out. Sheamus grabs Heath Slater, throws him into the ring, gets in the ring, and gets clotheslined out immediately. And it goes back to the whole thing where he almost broke Santino's record. I don't think he did, but he came pretty fucking close. He got eliminated by Heath Slater, and I remember the pop from the crowd. The crowd went absolutely nuts. I think Slater only got eliminated like a minute later. But the fact that he eliminated Sheamus, the crowd went absolutely nuts. And that was actually Sheamus' birthday as well. That was January 28th. Got thrown out by Heath Slater in about 3 seconds on his birthday, and then Jerry Lawler called him Cesaro on commentary. What an idiot. Number 16. R-Truth, Royal Rumble 2016. Well, the Royal Rumble 2016 is very, very memorable for a number of moments, and we'll get to those. But one of the more memorable moments from that match, R-Truth comes down to the ring. Before getting into the ring, grabs a ladder from under the ring. Puts the ladder in the ring, sets it up, and I'll keep in mind, this is while people are all around beating the hell out of each other, all over the ring. Sets the ladder up, climbs the ladder, reaches up for a championship, and there's nothing there. Because, of course, it's a Royal Rumble match, not a ladder match. Well, R-Truth realizes his mistake, gets brought down off the ladder by Kane. Kane sends him out. Kane tosses the ladder at R-Truth. Everybody laughs. Everybody has a good time. What a moment. So thank you, R-Truth, for that. I've never seen somebody bring a ladder into a Royal Rumble match before, so a first time for everything. Number 15, Nia Jax enters the Men's Royal Rumble 2019. Well, the 2019 Royal Rumble, the number 30 spot was supposed to be R-Truth. Well, as R-Truth was making his entrance, he gets attacked by Nia Jax. Jax absolutely just beat the hell out of Truth, threw him into a light, threw him into the barricade, threw him all over the place. Well, Nia Jax took the number 30 spot, entered the Royal Rumble match for the men after being eliminated by Becky Lynch earlier that night. And for her troubles, she threw out Ali. And after that, she tried to throw out Rey Mysterio. And, well, needless to say, she got a super kick, she got a 619, and she got an RKO for her troubles. So, Nia Jax was dumped out of the ring then, and for the second time that night, was eliminated from a Royal Rumble match. Number 14, Titus World Slide. Greatest Royal Rumble 2018. Well, the first ever Greatest Royal Rumble, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't that great outside of the big returns and the fact that it was 50 people in that Rumble. That match drug on forever, and half the people that came out were jobbers. But one of the most memorable moments from that had to be Titus O'Neil making his entrance. Came charging down to the ring and, well, busted his ass. Titus slipped as he got down to the end of the ramp. And now, WWE usually has these big-ass LED boards around the ring. They usually have these LED boards that go all the way around the ring. They go around the turnbuckle posts. Thank God those weren't there, because Titus would have went headfirst into it and probably broke his neck. But thankfully, the worst that happened was Titus went under the ring and busted his ass and looked stupid in front of thousands of people there and millions across the world. But, I mean, they made the best of it. He got an action figure for it. He got a t-shirt for it. They recreated the moment in the 2019 Royal Rumble. So Titus had that's probably his crowning moment in WWE. And he's been a tag team champion before. And even that probably wasn't as big as the busting his ass in the Greatest Royal Rumble. Number 13. Shawn Michaels eliminates Triple H, the 2010 Royal Rumble match. Now, I talked about the 2010 Royal Rumble match earlier when Shawn Michaels went crazy. Well, this is before that. During the match, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and John Cena were in the ring. DX, everybody thought, was going to team up and take out John Cena. Well, that wasn't necessarily the case, because as Triple H picked up John Cena to go for the pedigree, Shawn Michaels super kicked Triple H over the top rope, and Triple H was eliminated. And the look on everybody's face, including mine, including Cena's, including the commentators, every single person's face in that arena that night was absolutely priceless. Shawn Michaels eliminating his best friend just goes to show you how bad he wanted to go to WrestleMania that year to fight The Undertaker, who at the time was the world champion. He wanted to fight The Undertaker in the worst way, turning on his own best friend. But they always say there's no friends, only foes in the Royal Rumble match. Number 12, Maven, Royal Rumble 2002. I said before, there's a lot of moments that have come from the Royal Rumble 2002, and this could probably be one of my favorites. The Undertaker came out, Undertaker eliminated every single person he got his hands on except for one man. Maven. Maven fucking Huffman. The winner of Tough Enough. As Undertaker was yelling, I believe it was one of the Hardy Boys, to get their asses out of here, Maven ran up behind Undertaker, drop kicked him over the top rope, and eliminated The Undertaker. And the reaction from the crowd, the reaction from Jim Ross, and the reaction from The Undertaker solidified everything in that moment. Taker's shocked face, the look of everybody in the crowd, and Jim Ross going absolutely batshit crazy over Maven really made that moment special. And that Undertaker pulling Maven out of the ring and beating the fuck out of him made it even that more special. Hit him with a chair, probably one of the hardest unprotected chair shots I've ever seen. I don't know. I don't understand how the hell anybody could even want to take a chair shot to the head. I stubbed my toe and I'm on the ground crying. I cannot imagine taking a full force steel chair across the fucking dome piece. But Maven did it. And then he got put through a popcorn machine. He got his ass beat in the crowd. He got his ass beat in the concession stands. All because he eliminated The Undertaker. So was it really worth it? Probably not. But that moment will stand in history as probably one of the greatest moments to ever happen, just for the simple fact that a rookie eliminated The Undertaker. Number 11, Booker T returns 2011. Now, the 2011 Royal Rumble was special. That was the first time there was ever a 40-man Royal Rumble. And unfortunately, it had to be won by Alberto Del Rio. But one of the crowning moments in that match was the return of Booker T. Now, the Nexus was in the ring, awaiting the arrival of their next opponent after annihilating everybody that came out. But that iconic opening to the theme song, the Can You Dig It, Sucka, and everybody, including Michael Cole, Matt Striker, CM Punk, Mason Ryan, and every other Nexus member that was in the ring, their faces, again, it all goes back to the whole thing of everybody helps make the moment. And everybody helped make that moment by the just pure shock and awe on their faces when Booker T came out. Now, before we go to the top 10, I am going to end this episode here. We're going to do the top 10 Rumble moments on a separate episode, just for the fact that I am running out of time and I don't have a lot of time to discuss all of this in the next couple of minutes. So I'm going to end this episode, so make sure you guys stay tuned for episode 2, which is coming right after this one. And remember, it's not just all day, it's every day, and I will catch you guys in just a moment for part 2.